A new Sprite variant has entered the fray. This time it is Sprite Evil Twins. What's up YouTube, Dal here from Zephyr War Games, and today I'm bringing you Aiden's third place Sprite Evil Twin deck profile. Now this deck actually did crazy well at our locals, and the best thing about it is it utilizes the best of the new power play in Sprites, but then also utilizes the fact that the Evil Twins are level 2. And it gives them the ability to not only control the board through the Evil Twins and the Live Twins themselves, but the synergy of them being a level 2 then lets you exploit the explosive nature of the Sprites. With all of that out of the way, please smash that like button, hit that notification bell and subscribe so you don't miss out on any more upcoming content. Aiden took this to our locals last night of 20 odd people and ended up getting joint third place. His only loss came to me in tier elements, but he then ended up facing normal Sprite Toads. He also faced branded Tillaments as well. So he actually did get given the full test of everything he needed. He even faced the one rogue matchup of Earth Machines, and we all know that a Gozen lock can be pretty damaging. Less so in this deck because even the Live Twins are darks. With all of that out of the way, let's go through the profile. So obviously, we'll start with the Live Twins / Evil Twins first. This is where the deck hopefully will become cheaper because I would expect these to be reprinted in the Mega Tins. But you've got the triple Kill and the triple Leela alongside the single Treat and the single Frost. So obviously, again, these are all just level 2s. These are your main normal summons. So the way you look at it is rather than playing Divas and rather than playing Beavers, you play these instead. They special summon the other from the deck, so either or. And then if you get these in hand, these can be special summoned down from the hand if you control other ones. So obviously the Kill if you control Leela and Leela if you control Kill. The Frost is a little bit better because when your opponent adds a card from their deck to the hand, you can banish it from the graveyard to draw a card. But they're all still very, very good, and they're all just 3 level 2 fodders. Whether you're going to be trying to get them into your Link 2 plays for your Evil Twins, or if you're going to be using them as starters or extenders for your gigantic Sprite plays as well. In order to increase the consistency of this engine, we've got triple Live Twin Sunny Snitch and double Secret Password. So he went more of a Live Twin focused than playing all on the Sprites. So you can see that obviously the Live Twin Sunny Snatch gives you the gives you the ability to play during time, because if your opponent normal or specials while you control an Evil Twin monster, every time you gain 200 life points and they lose 200. So it's always going to be a 400 life point swing. On top of that, the 2 secret passwords, you get to add a Live Twin or Evil Twin spell or trap, being these guys here. And if you control a Kill monster and you control a Leela monster, you get to add an Evil Twin monster from the deck to the hand instead. So again, it's even more ways to try and get to your starters, which is really, really good in a deck like this because it just increases the consistency. One thing that wasn't in here is the Leela and Kill double effect monster, which is obviously really, really good because you utilize that with Artemis. It's not called Ultimate Slayer anymore. Ultimate Slayer, there we go, that's the one. And because then what you can do is you can actually send your Trouble Sunny, and you can send other cards as well that can help you set that up. Onto the Sprites, so this is where huge money comes into it. Triple blue, double jet, 1 carrot and 1 red. Pretty straightforward and simple on that one. You get any of these, if these get ashed, then you get to go again. The biggest weakness of something like this is if they get ogred, because then they're leaving the board. But then that's where cards like Sprite start to come into play. And that will still allow you to put a board presence in play. And then, of course, you've got the 1 Sprite Smasher. So this is obviously such a really good card, because if you've already opened up Starter or you've already opened up Jet, sometimes you've got routes to get into Smasher anyway, and you use this as an offensive route to kind of deal with a problem card in the form of something like Winder. But it can also be utilized to deal with stuff like Mystic Mine as well. It's very, very powerful, and I highly advise that if you do play the Sprite engine, you need to be playing this. If you're on a tight budget, you could cut the blues. You will be losing consistency, but that's where draw cards will probably come into play a little bit more so. But yeah, this deck is not for the the budget players, unfortunately. Just everything is just crazy expensive in comparison. Moving on to the hand traps, obviously this has so much space to play floodgates or hand traps depending on what you want. So we went with triple Ash Blossom, double Ghost Ogre, which puts in a lot of work this format. Do not underestimate it. Triple DD Crow, alongside triple infinite impermanence. And these pretty much just stop everything you need to. So imperm for going first, going second, deal with floodgates, deal with everything else. Crows is just so good against the tier matchup. It's so good in the Sprite matchup as well, because you hit their Ronin Toading, you hit their target off of Elf, everything like that. It just puts an instant stop to them. Ash is Ash, and Ogre is incredibly powerful because stuff like Gigantic and Time Thief Reader, you Ogre those, they're sent to graveyard without being able to resolve their effects or even detach, and it can be very, very damaging. The last cards, which are basically just generic utility cards, apart from obviously this one here, is Artifact Scythe. So surprise, surprise, in a deck like this, you actually have the ability to get into Dagda very easily, set up the Keys to Kill and Leela combos, which brings one back to pop a card on the field, which you pop Scythe, and then you're basically trying to trigger that in your own way with this deck. Obviously, that's incredibly powerful because scything your opponent, whether they're playing Telemans, whether they are playing Sprites, pretty much makes them have to end their turn and pass it. Not to mention that off of that play as well, you'll still get the ability to draw cards, and then the next turn you'll get to go into Trouble Sunny, which gives you a boss monster on the board already, plus building up whatever else you have left on the board, and that's where Sprites can start coming into play. True Tactics, because I guarantee you, like, this I thought was going to be a thing of the past. I was so wrong. There are so many hand traps running around, it's absolutely mental. The best thing, or the only way to play around talents, is you need to be activating stuff during the main phase, not during the main phase. But that's where it gets incredibly damaging, because there are so many boards, like especially you look at Telemans, they're constantly going to be activating monster effects. You look at Sprites, obviously Toad, you look at even Exo Sisters, just talents is so powerful right now. It's just you need an extra level because people will naturally try and play around it. And then the final card is Called by the Grave, pretty straightforward and simple on that one. You need to kind of protect from the stuff. I have seen a lot of people, like if you instant lose to stuff like Ghost Ogre, I would highly consider stuff like Crossout Designator, because you're playing so many hand traps, the space is there, but then Crossout Designator is always going to have its negatives as well, because it is very specific. It is, well, if you didn't open up Crossout with the exact hand trap my opponent's got, it's going to be no use to you. But I feel that with everyone playing Ashes, Imperms, Veilers, Ogres, you name it, you've got a high chance of being able to protect from a hand trap that will end your turn. Then moving on to the extra deck, obviously we've got the one Trouble Sunny, double Leela and double Keys to Kill, followed by your other Link 2s being IP Masquerena, Artifact Dagda, and of course Nightmare Unicorn. Pretty straightforward and simple on that one. And then to link everything together, you've got your Sprite Elves. So the best thing about this is this can actually help bring you back your Leela or Keys to Kill. And then, because you've done that, your Leela or the Keys to Kill you bring back can bring back the other one. So you get a pop, you get a draw, you get one of the others, and that will give you a way to do it under Sprite Elf anyway. Not to mention, you can even use these, as long as you haven't used the effect to lock you into Fiends, to go into a Gigantic Sprite, and again, it just gives you a 3200 beta of Sprite, and then he'll be able to get you either your Evil Twin from the deck if you might need it, or can start the entire Sprite combo plays off as you need. The one Gym Buster, so this was interesting. So rather than playing Sky Cavalry Centura, he went with Gym Buster. So it requires 2 level 2 darks, which is basically everything in your main deck. During either player's turn, when an effect of an opponent's monster is activated, doesn't matter where it is, as long as it's activated somewhere, you get to detach 2 materials from this card, and you get the activation if you're doing flip 5 and damage to your opponent. So that can be really, really cool as well during time, because it gives you the ability to, basically, if it's getting close to time, your opponent does not want to activate a monster effect anywhere. So they need to negate this first. Now, the ideal scenario is you'll have this backed up with maybe a Sprite so it can't be targeted, or an Elf so it can't be targeted, and then be able to build your board off the back of that. And then obviously standard downward into Zeus. So board clears, go second, everything you could possibly need in order to kind of deal with matchups and board presence. And the fact that you keep downward in here, yes, it's very rare that Gigantic Sprite will be useful for you on that one, because it would have already detached one. So you can just go, you might as well just go into Zeus. But you've also got the Jin as well. And the best thing on top of that is you've got to remember that Zeus can attach from main deck or extra deck. So that can be very, very important as well, because that's a way of getting Trouble Sunny to the graveyard, because you can attach to this if another card will be destroyed by battle card effect. And then you've got another nice Zeus wipe, plus you'll then have the effect of Trouble Sunny in the graveyard. So it gives you a bit of grind play as well. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is it. Very straightforward, very, very simple. Massive shout out to Aiden on this list. Again, he did incredibly well at a very competitive locals, because keep in mind as well, this is like the last week before Euros. So everyone is trying their darndest to do everything they can in preparation for it. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. Till next time, guys, as absolutely always, stay safe and, of course, happy dueling.